So guys, do you want to double the speed of your Axial Yeti Junior Can-Am? Just like this? So do you like how much faster that looks over stock, guys? Well, in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to do a brushless conversion to the Axial Yeti Junior Can-Am. Very low cost, the brushless setup and the ESC, less than 30 bucks on there, link to them below the video. Anyway guys, in this video I'm going to do a quick tour around the car, quick talk through what's involved, then a quick demo of the car with the brushless conversion, running it outside, and following that I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to convert your Axial Yeti Junior to brushless. Nice and simple and cheap conversion. Anyway, let me get the camera down, quick tour around the car, put the battery in, take it outside, quick demo for you, then on to the conversion. Axial brushless Yeti conversion any good? So what are you going to need for Axial Yeti Junior brushless Can-Am conversion? Well, you're not going to need the existing ESC and receiver. Now this is where probably part of the main expense comes in, because you need to remove the existing brush motor and this combined ESC and receiver and fit a separate receiver and ESC. Now this receiver actually costs more than the combined motor and ESC combo that I bought from Amazon, which is around about $25. I'll link to that on the video, because once you see this thing run you'll probably want to go out and buy one of these. 7,200 kV brushless motor. It's designed for these 1/18 scale cars. A little bit of cogging on the startup I found with the thing on it, but once that 17,200 kV gets going, this thing absolutely flies. It takes a maximum of 2S. The ASC will not run with 3S, so don't try it in there. Little warning red light comes on indicating that you've got too much juice in there. I've removed the existing ESC and receiver combo from the center here. I've had to stick the receiver on with double-sided tape. It's stuck on both at the bottom and onto the back of the ESC. ESC is also stuck down with double-sided tape. Fairly simple conversion. If anything, the wiring is a little bit messy. I've used one cable tie here, but it could do with a little bit of tidying up, but I was in a hurry to get this done and show you guys how it handles. Speaking of which, let me get a fully charged 2S pack in there. Let's go outside and have some fun, because believe me, when I've been testing it off this thing off camera, this thing is an absolute flyer with this motor combo in it. Oh, I think we might have a bit of punch in here. Is that wheelie? Now I've got to be a bit careful on here guys, because it does have a tendency to want a traction roll on here, because it's better suited with that solid rear axle to a loose surface. And that's because with that rear axle, solid rear axle, it is better suited to a loose surface than it is on the blacktop here. I am going to take it out for a full test later on this week. I just thought I'd have a bit of fun with it around the drive here, but you can get it the corner on 3 wheels fairly easily. And it is fairly brutally quick on there. Only on 2S this. Still good for 30 miles an hour, which is more than double the stock speed. Now the thing to be aware of guys with this brushless conversion is 7,200 kV motor. All the power is very high up in the range, so you're going to get a little bit of cogging on here, but bear in mind this setup's only about 25 bucks. A little bit of cogging when you first start off on the thing. Anyway, let me show you exactly how to do a brushless conversion on your Axial Yeti Junior Can-Am. You can never have too much power, can you? Well, this is my Axial Yeti Junior Can-Am brushless conversion. I'm going to show you step by step how easy it is to convert this little thing to brushless, but you're going to need a couple of bits in order to do that. First of all, this little brushless setup here, including the ESC and the motor from Amazon, yours for around about 30 bucks or less on that. Put a link to that below this video. Separate spectrum receiver. That's because the Axial Yeti Junior has a combined ESC and receiver. So in order to be able to get the thing to run brushless, you're going to have to remove that and use your new receiver to connect to the steering servo and the new brushless ESC setup. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, without more ado, let's get the camera off the tripod, get down to it. Okay guys, well, getting straight down to it, there's simply 6 screws holding this plastic piece in on the top here, which you're going to need to remove. It says, I'm very carefully taking on the side in order to access to the motor. We're then going to very carefully get a screwdriver and prise that ESC coming in, because I don't want to break this, I want to keep this. Prise that off. And you'll see here we've got the link to the servo going down, so I'm going to pull that off and leave the servo in place. Okay, now with that plastic cover removed, I believe the motor should just pop loose like that. So I'm going to pull that out the way. To the side on there, you can I'm going to remove the whole thing, but if you wanted to, you could simply pull the connections apart on there, and I'm very carefully going to figure out how on earth to remove the ESC combo unit from the chassis there. Okay, now I did wonder if the ESC receiver combo was stuck down by double-sided tape. Just very gently flexing that, leaving it. It's not. Well guys, for anyone trying this, there's actually two little clips which you need to push back. This one here and that one there. You just need to snap them back. Little wiggling, jiggling required in it. There we go. That is the assembly ready to remove. There's two clips there, a little bit more visible now I've taken it out. So I'm going to be able to put, hopefully, my new receiver and ESC in the same space. Fingers crossed, boys. Last bit, using a pair of pliers, simply pull the receiver tube out from here in order that you can get the wire back out of there. And there we are. That is our original ESC combination receiver module taken out of there. Now I'm going to need to remove the pinion gear from here and fit it to a new brushless motor. Okay, on the existing motor here, to get to the screw, I'm just going to have to remove these two little hex bolts here and put them on exactly the same place in the new brushless setup. Okay guys, I've got the existing pinion gear ready to bolt to my new brushless setup, but I'm just got a little bit of thread lock on here to take into account the extra power. Just a note, when you're lining the pinion up with the spur gear here, there's a little hole in the side, so if you move the gear round, you can get access to the grub screw, enabling you to vary the height of the pinion in order that it's perfectly in line with the spur gear. Now, just got to figure out how to move it over to mesh it with the spur. Now guys, while I like to show you stuff, there's certain stuff I can only kind of but teach you. That is, you're going to kind of need to rotate this cam around until the gear mesh is there, but not too tight, because we're then going to put those screws back down and that top thing is going to clamp the whole lot in place. But that is very much something you're going to have to do by feel rather than me saying set this hole, set that hole. It's not the case of that. You're going to need to move it in by hand and get a feel for that if that gear mesh is too tight. Hope that makes sense. Sorry not to be clear on that one, guys. Okay guys, just 6 screws on there to fit that thing back in place in there. Just one last check that the gear mesh is not sounding too tight, and that sounds fine to my mind. Minimal noise from there. So now I've just got to relocate the ESC on here and somehow squeeze in my new Spectrum receiver. Slight problem here guys, or so I thought. Boy was I happy that I spent that $9.99 on Amazon on these 20 receiver extension leads, because one of these small ones is ideal for extending the servo to fit into there. Bargain. Link to these below the video. Thought it would come in handy at some point, boys. Well guys, slight problem. The STX2 transmitter that the Axial Yeti Junior comes with will not bind with my nice new receiver. So I've had to use a separate Spectrum transmitter got inside, but that was a problem I'm not foreseeing coming. I thought I might be able to pair that receiver with the existing transmitter, but that wasn't to prove the case. Okay, the very last bit of the conversion, once you've used double-sided sticky tape to put the ESC in place, is to mount the receiver. If you look on there, I've mounted the endways on. I've put double-sided tape underneath and on the back of it. I've then connected the ESC wire into the receiver and taken the servo extension lead and fitted that into the receiver as well. So it's now all ready to go. So that's my Axial Yeti Junior brushless conversion completed. Anyway folks, I hope that video was of use. If it was, then don't forget to subscribe. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, then don't forget to hit that little notifications bell next to it.